North Park track and field coach Jeff Massanet of the North Park Vikings. This is now Jeff's fourth year coming into the program. And Jeff, now that you guys got the upcoming season now, the indoor season coming up at Trine University this December 5th, what are your expectations now for the upcoming year for the guys and girls?
We're very excited about this year. And this being my fourth year here, this is easily the best overall team we've had between guys and girls, and that's true of the track and cross country program as a whole. We've got more upperclassmen than we've had the last couple of years. We've got a very talented group of newcomers, and we'd like to feel that we're very well covered across all the event areas, the sprints, jumps, throws, distance, even the vault. So we're anticipating a good season.
Looks like you got a couple of all-conference athletes coming back, most notably on the men's side, Dave Anderson, a senior, two-time all-conference in the weight, hammer, and discus. Talk a bit about what he's going to bring back to this team now for his final season.
Sure. Dave has been a captain the last couple of years. First and foremost, he's a very good team leader. He works very hard, almost to a fault, and that may be the way that we allow him to maybe do his best this year by kind of holding him back more. But he's proven to be one of the best all-around throwers in the conference in the last year, and that's a good testament because as a freshman he was kind of just a classic freshman. He did solid stuff, but he certainly wasn't scoring, and he wasn't turning too many heads, and he just keeps working hard. And by the end of last outdoor season, he had scored in 3 different conference events and was all conference top 5 at least in a couple of those, in the hammer and the discus and the weight throw indoors, and as our school record holder in the weight throw, and I believe in the hammer also. I probably should have checked that, but he's very well primed and excited about the possibility of not only maybe shooting for some conference championships individually, but maybe even making it to nationals.
Wow.
In the discus is probably his best event, so looking at the outdoor season. But he's just, again, kind of stereotypical. If you could clone him, he would do that.
Yeah. Talk about on the women's side too. You got two solid athletes coming back too. Natalie Swanson, a junior all-conference in the shot, weight, and discus, as well as Alexa Baker, senior all-conference, basically everything in the relays and the dashes. Talk about what those two ladies are going to bring back to the team.
Yeah, they again, kind of mirroring Dave a bit. They are just good kids. They're very good students. They're very good, hardworking leaders on our team. And again, first and foremost, those are the biggest qualities that they bring to the team. But beyond that, they're obviously pretty talented, and they work very hard and have proven to be. Again, on both sides, Natalie is one of the better all-around throwers in the conference when you consider the shot, the disc, and the hammer as a combined event thrower. She's just one of the best, and she's had a good off season. She works very hard. She's got a good coach back home that she can work with in the summertime, and looks very good in the early season practices. So Alexa is a senior and is again one of the best all-around sprinters in the conference. She was in indoors, she was third in the 200, fifth in the 100, in the 60-meter dash, and in outdoors she was fourth in the 100 and third in the 200. So a couple other kids have graduated. She is basically one of the best all-around short sprinters in the conference. She was all-conference in the 400 2 years ago as well. So we're really excited about her this senior year, and she's. If you ask her what her goals are, they're very high, and she also looks very forward to bringing a crew of her teammates along with her to some good things this year.
Talk about too what some of these newcomers are going to bring to the team. It sounds like you guys got between 50 to 60 athletes coming out for the team, which is impressive. Just talk about what you think the newcomers are going to be able to bring to this year's team.
Yeah, the biggest thing when you can build up your numbers is it's bound to help produce a better team. I mean, the numbers are going to help quality unless they're a bunch of knuckleheads, and we have a few knuckleheads, but generally speaking, they're good kids, and so by default, we're just going to be better as a result of having some numbers. But beyond that, we're fortunate that we've got some pretty doggone good kids who decided to come to North Park this year. And again, I could rattle off names left and right for an hour, but some of the key ones. We've got a sprinter jumper, a gal named Alina Gunnarsson, who, if you look at her PRs or personal records and you plug them into the conference from a year ago, she would be top 4 to 5 in the 100. She would be top 2 or 3 in the long jump, just a hair away from going to nationals with what her PRs are. Faith Furio is another combo sprinter jumper whose long jump would also be. It's basically tied with Alina. She would be one of the top 3 in the conference from a year ago, and would be right on the cusp of going to nationals. And she sprints pretty well as well. When you combine those two with Alexa and then one of the other newcomers named Annika Nyquist, who also plays on the soccer team but has got some pretty good credentials in the 100 and the 200, we've got a pretty doggone good quartet for some of the relays, both the 4x1 and the 4x4.
Okay.
Brianna Lippert is, we're really excited about her. Her discus and her shot from high school. Her discus, if you took her high school mark and plugged it into the conference, she would be top 4 to 5 in the conference just with her high school mark. And she's admittedly even pretty rough around the edges in terms of her training in high school. And northern Wisconsin springs aren't exactly conducive to throwing terribly far when you're throwing in a snowy ring. So. And again, the distance kids have had a really nice fall so far already, and I know Coach Emick has talked about them. So you throw those gals into the mix as well, and we've got a pretty dang good girls team. On the guys' side, we've got one of our big pickups was a guy named Rasmus Elfgaard, whose best mark in the javelin is, if you plugged him into any of the last 2 to 3 years, he's a conference champion in the javelin. And those guys just don't fall off the trees for us, so we're pretty excited to have a guy of that caliber here. I mean, he could probably be throwing out a lot of Division I's if he wanted to, and he came here for a variety of reasons. So that's Rasmus. And then on the sprinter side, we have a guy named Sebastian Westland, whose PR of 21.8 in the 200 is he's decidedly an all-conference top 3 to 5 type of fellow if he can duplicate that. We've got the potential of another good solid 180-plus javelin thrower who should be coming out who plays football, Nick French. And if that works out to where he's able to do that, well, we've got 2 of the best javelin throwers in the conference. And Thomas Simak in the distances for us, we're excited about. He's done some good stuff in high school. And just generally speaking, we've got a couple of other guys who do the pole vault, who should be up in the 14-foot range, and in our conference, that's all conference. So put it all together, and it's a pretty solid guys team.
Awesome. Okay. Talking about this non-conference schedule, you guys coming up in the indoor, how much do you think it's going to prepare you guys for the conference championships at the end of the season? And then moving into the outdoor season, how much the non-conference stuff will prepare you guys for the championships?
When December meets is doing it, there's a degree of fun involved, there's a degree of low-keyness to the meet, and it's primarily to kind of get the rust out. People have been practicing all fall, whether it's preseason conditioning or official practice, and then they're going to go home for 4 weeks. We'd like to give them an opportunity to go out there and compete, just to to make all this training worthwhile, and also to give us a benchmark of sorts where we know where they will where they're at before they go home for break, and maybe to give them some incentive to be working hard when they're away. When we come back, it's unlike other sports where we don't have one-on-one conference and contests. We just have meets that we go to, and we select those based on meets that we've gone to in the past that we've enjoyed being at. The competition levels may be appropriate, or the facility's good, or the coaches are cool, or these types of things. But we try to put together a schedule that is conducive for our kids to be, our top kids and our more developmental kids, for them all to have a good experience and help prep them for competing well come indoor conference time, and then leading right on into outdoor conference. I do think we'll be a better team outdoors because we do add, again, when you add the javelin in, which it's not contested during the indoor season, that's helpful for us. And then the discus as well as an event. Those two simply are going to give us a boost in what we can do at conference.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much, Jeff, for taking the time today, and we wish you guys the best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Kevin.
Right. Thanks so much.